What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another amazing episode here on the Veteran Influencers Network. Once again, Chris Levine, and today, like we do for every episode, we have a special guest in the building. Our guest is Danielle. Danielle, say what's up to the people.
Hey guys, what's going on?
And so I like to meet different guests, and sometimes I don't actually know them up until recently to the actual interview. Some people are people I've known for a few years, and the first time we actually spoke was maybe about a week ago. So I know I'm looking forward to this interview. It forces me to bring out a certain type of skill with being an interviewer with just recently meeting somebody. Do you have any like social media that you want people to follow you on before we actually get started?
Yeah, Chris, I'm on Instagram at _DANIICAKEZZ, and I also have a YouTube channel. It's just DANIICAKEZZ with no underscore.
Okay, and what I'll do is I'll have my editor put it either somewhere down on the bottom or put it into the description so that they can go and do that as well. So
okay,
sweet. I'm definitely looking forward to it. So let's get started. So I see that you were from San Antonio, and I know you were saying that you were born there, but if you can give me like a brief like kind of description of what it was like to be baby Danielle.
All right. Yeah, so I was born and raised in San Antonio, Texas. I was born in 1994, November 15th. Growing up in Texas, I would ride my horse to work. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Down the Old Town Road? No, I'm just kidding.
Everybody's like, oh, were you like the typical like cowgirl living on a farm? Like, no, like I was definitely in the heart of San Antonio in the city. So yeah, it was a pretty good childhood. I went to like elementary, a middle school, and a high school, like all relatively close together. So it was a very tight-knit community of childhood friends that I grew up with. So
are you able to say what the schools are?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I don't mind.
Okay.
So the three schools that I went to in San Antonio were Oak Grove Elementary, Garner Middle School, and Douglas MacArthur High School. So those were the three schools I went to, and I went there throughout the entirety of like the elementary school, the middle school, and high school years. I did participate in basketball, softball, cross country, and track. And
now, was this like when you were like younger, or was this in high school?
This was throughout my middle school and my high school years. I've always played basketball since I was in 6th grade. Yeah, so I still got it. I'm a little rusty, but I love playing basketball. It's one hobby that I'll never give up.
Listen, all you gotta do is say the word, and I don't take it easy on nobody. You might get put in the rim.
Oh man, you'll probably block me, but I have a pretty good shot. So yeah.
All right, say less.
Yeah.
So did you actually play for a team, or did you just play for like a hobby?
When I was in 6th grade, I wasn't allowed to play for school yet because middle school you can only play for like 7th and 8th grade. But I did play for a summer league in 6th grade, and that's when I found my love for basketball. I played for my middle school when I was in 7th and 8th grade. I was like on the A team, which was like, I guess the better team. And I also played basketball throughout all my years in high school as well. So yeah, it was just a really fun hobby that I love.
So you said basketball. What was the other thing you said?
I did play softball and track.
What events you do in track?
I did the 100-yard dash, I believe. Yeah, and I did the 200 a few times for. I would like take turns and sub out with other runners as well, and then cross country. Did various amounts of like distance running and such.
Right.
Yeah.
So that means you got a 300 PFT or what?
Shoot. My PFT, my last one was a 281, and my CFT was I just did my CFT and I got a 287. Yeah.
287?
Yeah. So
Okay.
I'm trying to get that 300, but
there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Like, and those are definitely a foundation of track, man. I remember doing track in high school. I was sore every day, every single day. It wore me completely out because I played basketball. I mean, I did a little football, but didn't end up pursuing that. But I would say basketball, and then I did track for a while. And track is amazing for your athleticism. My vertical jump was through the roof after doing just like 3 weeks of track. It was crazy. I never got tired. My endurance was ridiculous. Yeah, I should say track was a good time.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Never wanted to do cross country because they started out for like a 5-mile warm up. I said, absolutely not. I will not warm up with 5 miles.
I remember those days.
No. So did you ever like make it to state or end up competing?
No, I never took it that serious, never took it that far. I personally didn't make it to state or anything.
Okay.
Yeah. So
it happens. I mean, only so many people can go, you know, only so many teams can go. So
yeah.
No, that's good. That, like I said, track is definitely a great foundation. I know you talk about fitness a lot, which we'll get into here in a little bit. But having that foundation, especially getting started in high school, helps to spark the interest of whether you want to, if that's something you want to pursue or not. But it also gives you like a good foundation and an understanding of what you need to do to kind of improve your fitness. So that I'm definitely blessed to have the coaches that I had in high school. They definitely helped me out a lot and taught me the game of basketball as well.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I remember like being so active like in my middle school and high school years. Like I loved being active. It was just my thing, just being outside, just running around. And when I actually graduated in 2013, I graduated from MacArthur High School in 2013. And that summer was the first summer when I didn't do anything. Like I wasn't physically active. And that summer I literally gained like 15 pounds. And I had started college that fall. My first.
I'm sorry.
You're fine. I started my first semester of college, and yeah, I was like, it's not even college yet, and I already gained the freshman 15. And I was like, oh my God, like it's real. This is real life. Like I just gained like all this weight, and I was like, ain't no way, this isn't gonna be me. And my fitness journey actually started in 2013, the summer of 2013. I got my first membership at Gold's Gym, and
great gym, by the way.
What was that?
It's a great gym, by the way.
Oh yeah, for sure. And yeah, that's when my journey started, and I haven't looked back since. And I didn't really know what I was doing. At first, my goal was to lose that 15 pounds I had gained. I was about 115 pounds my senior year. And then I had gained to like 100 and 130 maybe. So my goal was just to go back to 115. I achieved that goal. And then I wanted to start like cutting and like getting like way more leaner muscle and like just cut. But I was still kind of lost and was kind of unsure of how to gain that specific physique. I guess the physique I was going for was like woman's, what's it called? Not physique, but you know what I'm talking about, like the feminine, the more feminine physique. So that's what I was going for. And then over the years that had kept going on, like the years kept going on and on, I discovered powerlifting. And I was powerlifting for a good 3 years.
Right.
And I had intentionally gained weight, and over the years I went from about 130 to 185. Like that's a big jump. I know.
Whoa.
I know. But I was putting up some good numbers. I never freaking competed for like powerlifting competition, and I really want to like do that one day, but I never did that like prior to joining the Marine Corps. And Yeah, I was eating like triple meat, like hamburgers from Whataburger, like every week. I was eating like so many calories. It was
Yeah.
ridiculous. And I think I maxed out at a 315 deadlift, a 295 squat, and a 160 bench. So, yeah.
Damn. Okay. Hey, you know what I'm saying? You got to give love too. That's crazy. That's
Oh,
what's
that's
up.
funny.
Well, so I definitely want to hit on the fitness portion as well. I know we kind of like skipped down the line a little bit. But I would say like, so what was I just want to go back a little bit. What was it like growing up, like specifically in Texas? Because I've never heard one person ever say anything bad about Texas that's from Texas. Like what is the big stigma about Texas? What draws everybody in and just wants to love Texas so bad?
I mean, I've only lived in like San Antonio my whole life, but I don't know. We have like better like tax rates. We have more land here. We have more opportunities here. I feel like more tax cuts when it comes to like owning a house, owning property, or owning a business.
Right.
What else? I mean, gun
There's
laws,
everything.
like our laws. I don't know. There's a lot of good colleges here. A lot of opportunity. I don't know. I feel like we're like that middle, that sweet spot when it comes to like California being like so expensive and like freaking house prices for a literally like
Ridiculous.
a 1,200 foot square house is like $500,000, and it's, I don't know, like
I mean, you see
insane.
my mansion over here. Imagine how much I paid for this thing. You know?
Yeah,
No,
no kidding. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like this is home for me, and this will always be home for me. And I most likely will buy a house here when I exit the military. And yeah, I just feel like it's a really great place to live and retire and live out the rest of your life here. That's just my opinion. That's
right.
my plan. So yeah.
No, that's good. And like I said, that's Texas is definitely one of the states that I'm optioning in to have retirement in. That's there's three total states that I'm like, yeah, I could be one of these, but Texas is like a high favorable right now.
Yeah.
So I know we talked about early life, but also like, so what inspired you to want to join? Now, I know a lot of people are in the Marine Corps are from Texas. So was there like any type of feel of like military when you were growing up that like would maybe inspire you to want to join?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely when I reached my sophomore and junior years of high school, I was considering it. I remember like recruiters from all branches actually coming out to my high school. And
Right.
I was like hesitant on going to the booth. I don't know why, but I was just like, I'll do it later. I'm not going to do it like now. And I wish I would have done it then, because I could have taken like the ASVAB then and just got like a head start.
Right.
There was I've had no prior family members who have joined the military. I was actually the first one in my family to join. So
Nice.
yeah, I was the first generation there. Yeah, it wasn't until like my later 20s that I finally decided to join and make the decision. I kind of just did research on my own and made the decision completely on my own. I had made the decision before even telling my parents, but I did tell them when I was like I can't even say the word, enlisting into the military, when I was swearing in at MEPS.
Right.
My mom and my dad both came and witnessed that. They were both pretty shocked. My mom cried. My dad,
Like good cry, or was it like why?
she thought I was gonna go to war like immediately. And she didn't know what to expect, because she didn't really know how that concept worked. But I explained it to
Right.
her, and I told her what I would be doing. And I kind of just broke it down to her on how it works, and if it were to go down that route, this is how it would happen. But at this time, like, it's peacetime. We're not going to be going into war, XYZ, and she has a better understanding of it and how the military works. My dad didn't believe me. My little sister didn't believe me. And I was like, yeah, dude, like, it's happening. I'm actually joining, man. Like, she's like, no way, you're not joining. Like, nah. And I was like, here's the paper. Like, it's real. And
why wouldn't they not believe you?
I don't know.
Were you like not that type of kind of growing up, like the rough, tough like girl, or were you?
I don't know. I guess I just kind of brought it to them like out of the blue, and they were just like completely like mind blown and surprised. And they're like, really? Like, you, Danielle, like, you joining the Marine Corps? And I don't know. My little sister would not believe me for the longest time. I had everybody at the dinner table, and I told them I had something to tell them at dinner. And yeah, everybody was shocked. And I had to tell my sister like 3 or 4 times and just try to get it like across to her, like, yes, dude, I'm joining. So yeah, that was a funny memory.
Oh, having that, and obviously that's why we'll continue to do it. That's like one of the best recruiting tools, is just showing up, just showing. You may not remember who it is. Oh yeah, I remember seeing, the uniform, and then, somebody else triggers somebody else, and, that might make them join, from you just having that conversation, showing up to all the schools. And, I remember seeing my recruiters when I was in high school as well. I was, they challenged me to the whole pull-up thing or whatever. I was like, I'm dusting all y'all. Oh man, that's hilarious. So you've been in for how long? Have you been in so far? Were you 4 years?
I have a 5-year contract in aviation, and I just hit my 2-year mark on November 18th.
Hey.
That's so funny. I love that.
So obviously, like I said, it's not the longest time of being in, but like throughout your time of joining, like what was your experience like, from the time you went through recruit training, to being in the fleet right now?
I mean, I've had a pretty good experience. From my perspective, from my opinion, I do keep in contact with about 30 or 40 females from my boot camp platoon. We do have a little Instagram group chat, and all of us are in this thread on IG. And, we'll say like, how's everyone going? Throw in some memes in there, some pictures. And we kind of just talk about like our experiences and our chain of command. And from what my sisters from my boot camp platoon tell me, I kind of just put into perspective, like, some of my sisters have it kind of worse than I do, and they kind of give me examples of their chain of command, their units, their work environment, the people they work with. And I kind of put it into perspective, like, I don't have it as bad as other people do. I'm super grateful for like all the experiences I've been given. We have a new building, a new hangar I work in, and it's about a year old. So the building is beautiful. It's so nice. I think my chain of command is pretty good, and they do a really good job of like taking care of their Marines. Just a little bit of onesies and twosies that aren't the ideal leaders I wish I worked for, but I feel like that's in every type of environment or like work environment. My unit, we do go on detachments. I wish we could travel more and go experience other states, other countries, and like deploy more often, but mine doesn't.
Right.
But all in all, I'm pretty grateful for my experience, and I'm pretty proud of everything I have achieved so far in these last 2 years I've been in.
Awesome. Yeah, that's I mean, that's a great perspective to have, because a lot of times people are kind of, if they don't like something, they automatically kind of like tailor it as, something's bad, as opposed to really understanding why it's the way it is, and I think a lot of like, newer people that have joined the military recently, sometimes they don't really have that full overview of why things are, so they understand it, as opposed to, I just don't like X, Y, and Z,
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, I know we kind of had like a little side talk a little bit, talking about whether you plan to re-enlist or not. Have you made that decision yet, or have you stamped it? I know you have a 5-year contract, but are you leaning one way or the other?
Well, I'll be completely honest with you. I'm actually like sitting on the fence if I want to re-enlist or if I want to get out. I kind of have a lot of things on my plate right now, and
Right.
My future is kind of uncertain because I just don't know which path to take. I just feel like there's so many things I want to do in my life, and there's so many things that you can do when you're in, but there's also so many things you can do when you get out. So I'm kind of just weighing my options right now. I will probably make my final decision on my 4th year, depending like how much time I have left. Some things I've considered for my future. I've considered going the officer route. I've considered MSG, extending my contract, possibly re-enlisting. I'm in college right now. I try to take a few classes a semester. A goal of mine is to use tuition assistance and achieve my bachelor's degree. I want to become an entrepreneur. Like, I want to have my own business, something to call mine. And there's just so much room for opportunity and things that I want to do, but I haven't made my final decision yet on re-enlisting or not.
Yeah, it's crazy, man, because you go through so many phases. I've been through so many phases throughout the time of being in. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna re-enlist. Oh, I'm not re-enlisting. But I would say it's always the cool thing to do is to say that you're getting out as a first termer. It's like the cool thing to, like, you don't want to sound like the nerd or the unhip person by saying you're re-enlisting, because for some reason that's not the cool thing to say. The cool thing is like, nah, man, I'm getting out. I'm definitely getting out. I'm gonna go do this. Those are the ones that always re-enlist. I'm telling you. I try to explain that to my Marines. I tell them this all the time, and they don't believe me. I'm like, listen, you're re-enlisting. I'm telling you right now, Gunny, I'm not. I was like, okay. Next thing you know, can you come to my re-enlistment? I was like, I
told you.
I know this, baby. You gotta trust me. I'm sure you're gonna sit down and do the whole pro and con thing for every one of your decisions that you choose to make. You technically still have time, with promotions and re-enlistment packages becoming a little bit more stringent.
Yeah,
I wouldn't wait too long to make that decision.
Yeah.
You got to burn the boat at some point. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So you either stamp it here or stamp it here. Playing the fence in between, a lot of times I've noticed that a lot of people they miss opportunities for one or the other because they're unsure, and they end up making a decision. It's like, man, you're 2 years behind because you could have done X, Y, and Z had you burned that boat and said, this is the decision that I'm making. So I'm sure you'll figure that all out with time. Plus you joined a little bit later anyway, so you're a little bit more mature.
Oh yeah, just to elaborate on one more thing. Yes, I did join the Marine Corps late. I joined at 25 years old. So I also lived life a little bit. I got to experience living on my own. I lived in a little apartment condo. I experienced life, as an adult. Did a lot of adult things, and I just went into boot camp having a more mature mindset. I think I was the second oldest in my platoon. There was a female who was there. She was like 28 or 29. And then I was second oldest. I was 25. So
were you the guide or you just got IT more?
No. No, I think I never got guide, but I was a squad leader for like a week or two. And then I got fired because I did I pissed off a drill instructor. But yeah, just going into boot camp and just Marine Corps in general, like having a mature mindset definitely helped. and also just maturing as a person, as an adult, and learning about myself and being a better communicator, being more like in the moment and being more responsible, just making like the right decision and just becoming a better person overall since I was about 20 or 21. All that has helped me throughout my Marine Corps like career, and that's why I try to be optimistic and just be an optimist, not a pessimist in the Marine Corps or just in life in general. Like if you just like change your perspective just a little bit and you just like step back and look at the bigger picture, there's so much to be grateful for. There's so much to be thankful for. You know, like nothing, you just gotta like take it day by day, know that nothing is perfect. Also know that nothing is temporary in your life, like at all. And no matter how much it sucks, you gotta embrace it. And no matter what circumstances the Marine Corps gives you or just life in general, no matter what circumstances you're given, you are going to learn from it and you're going to grow from it no matter what it is, no matter how hard it is. I've gone through some shitty experiences in the Marine Corps and life in general. You know, for example, like my mom has cancer right now, and I am making the best of it, and I'm being optimistic about it. In the Marine Corps, what's an example? I was in lockdown in like Pensacola, Florida because of COVID back in 2020. And I was super depressed and sad because I couldn't leave the base. I couldn't go out and do the things I wanted to do. I was on a strict schedule and I had to be at the barracks back at a certain time every day. So it was a really dark time, my first time away from family and just being on lockdown. But like I said earlier, no matter what life brings you, just stay positive and optimistic, and like nothing is temporary. So yeah.
You mean permanent?
What was that?
You're saying nothing's temporary?
Like nothing is temporary. Like no shitty like experience that you go through is like temporary. Does that make sense?
Well, I think you meant nothing's permanent.
Oh.
Okay.
Wait, yeah, that's what I meant to say.
Okay, it's only temporary, I think is what you were trying to say, right?
That's what I meant to say, yes.
Okay. Like carry the one. No. I didn't want to cut you off because I was zoned. I was
But you know what I meant? I meant to say everything is temporary. That's what I meant to say.
Absolutely.
Okay,
absolutely.
My bad. Edit that.
No. And that's a great point because, you know, there's, whether it's the physical training, whether it's stuff like the COVID, I'm going to tell you right now, I would say on average, the world gained 15 to 20 pounds during COVID. And that's just what it is. Think about what you were doing. Like most people were ordering food because they didn't want to go out to go get groceries and to do all, so they were constantly ordering food in. Mm-hmm. I watched some of my friends that were ripped just get fat, you know. Yeah. And it sucks too because it's like starting all over again. You know how it is. Like it's so easy to gain weight, a bad weight, but it's hard to burn it off and keep it off, you know. So yeah, I mean, you burned those 50 pounds off. Well, yeah.
I did because I like when I decided to join the military, I was like at 185, but you
don't look anywhere near 185.
Well, thank you. I had to lose it, but when I made the decision, he was like, okay, well, if you want to go to boot camp, you got to cut the weights for your height as a female, being your age. So I had to go from 185 to 145, and I did that in 3 freaking months. So I could go to boot camp on my ship out date, and it was really depressing because I worked so hard to get to that number and get all my numbers up for all my compound lifts. And yeah, it was pretty sad because I had to cut all that, but I really wanted to become a Marine. So I knew what I had to do, but yeah.
I bet your joints felt better though. Cause like whenever I go from like heavy to light, I just feel like I'm floating like not, but then when you gain that weight back, you just feel sluggish. Even when it's like muscle and you're, doing heavy weights and heavy lifts, that's why I stopped doing like heavy squats. It's like my knees always end up hurting from that. But yeah, it's definitely a lifestyle. I know you guys got those little wraps and stuff like that, different things that you can use in order to, to help to prevent that, really.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, being in the military now and doing like obviously like less weights in the weight room. I don't go really anywhere near those numbers I used to pull, but I do the weights, and I do a lot more cardio these days. Yeah, I'm just pretty much weightlifting these days. Every once in a while, I'll go like really heavy, relatively heavy, but it's not even close to those numbers I used to do. I'll probably go like max 260 on my deadlift and like max 260 on my squat. Like that's as high as I can probably go like right now today.
Right.
Yeah.
That's still freaking good. That's I know a lot of dudes that can't even do that, So what is like how tall are you?
I am 5'5".
5'5". So what's that? 65 inches?
65 inches.
So what's your minimum maximum? Do you know off the top of your head?
It's like 156 is my max.
156.
Yeah. And I'm always pushing it too. Like I'm always pushing it. It sucks. I hate it. Like I don't look overweight, right? Like I don't think I look overweight, but like I asked my family and I'm like, hey, do you think I look overweight? And they're like, no. And I'm like, well, I'm overweight according to the Marine Corps. And they're like, what? And I'm like, yep. So when I know when it's time to get ready to weigh in, I kind of just do what I need to do so I can make weight.
No, it's, maybe a little bit outdated, but a lot of people that are extremely fit that I know are overweight.
Yeah.
They make tape every time. Like I make tape every time.
Me too.
I can't remember the last time I was. It wasn't that long ago, but yeah. I mean, it just depends. And then you add in the whole COVID. Every gym is closed, right? So now you're just doing push-ups, and like you're gonna get bored of that after a while. So people just naturally kind of gained it, and now that it's time to get back in shape. But what happens when you're not working out consistently? The injuries start to come. So little things like that, just body maintenance, are all important as it is to to lift the weight. So.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So what are you doing right now? Like, are you? I know you do the whole Instagram. You're trying to working on your YouTube as well, because you're going to be recording a lot more YouTube videos.
I do. I really need to get out there and just stay consistent with it. I keep telling myself, but what I'm currently doing, I'm currently in college right now. Like I said earlier, I take 1 or 2 classes a semester and just chipping away at my business degree. Also, in the meantime, I do, the whole Instagram and YouTube. I really love making YouTube videos and just helping people with what I needed help with. And I like being a resource and an outlet for people to come to if they need help with whether it be fitness stuff or Marine Corps stuff. I just want to put that out there. What else? I haven't really shared this with any of my following, but I feel pretty comfortable to share it with you right now. So a new project I just picked up is I am in the process of building my own website. And I did hire a mentor / website builder, and she is currently helping me build the websites. And I'm going to be working on a program / ebook to help people in, it's going to be a book basically giving you all the tools and resources that have helped me set the foundation for fitness and to keep and maintain a healthy lifestyle from when I started back in 2013, and just kind of all the tools that I wish I had when I started. And also another project I'm working on is I am being mentored by a gentleman. He's actually a broker back in North Carolina, and he has just been teaching me how to manage my finances and invest my money into like beneficial accounts such and such, and just trying to build like generational wealth for myself and for my future family.
Hold on now. Let me find out. You got some insider trader information and you're holding out. Hey, I need to know.
He's not really like a trader. He's like a broker. I'm just kidding. Okay, but yeah,
I wouldn't put that on here anyways.
But yeah, those are the few projects and few things I'm just currently working on every week, just to, build towards a positive correlation in life. And I'm just trying to go, I'm trying to go up from here. So that's my goal.
That's awesome. I've kind of dabbled with the whole website thing, and it ended up being something I didn't like as far as like what I wanted to represent. I felt like I was kind of giving them false information, and they finally made it. I was like, yeah, this ain't what I want. Spent a good little penny on it too. I definitely want to make sure I kind of get all my ideas on paper, have a couple people like look at it and go, this is stupid because this won't work. Yeah, this might work. This will work. And then, a lot of rough drafts prior to, investing that, because you want to make sure you get your return on investment. If you're not doing that, you're just throwing money away. So I want to make sure that I'm doing that as well,
Exactly. I agree 100%.
That's awesome. To go back a little bit, I know you spoke about how your mom was like dealing with cancer. Is that something that you can touch on a little bit? The only reason why I say that is because I know there's probably somebody out there right now that can kind of relate to the struggle it is, because you've been helping your mom, and I know like a lot of people have helped someone that weren't able to fully help themselves, and they went through that entire process. Can you just kind of speak on the experience? And you don't have to necessarily speak on what she's like her particular experience, but like your experience, like kind of helping out with that.
Yeah, for sure. Just to give a little background, back in 2009, my mother was diagnosed with breast cancer. So she did lose her hair. She lost her eyelashes, her eyebrows, and she was doing pretty intensive chemotherapy treatments. She got through that. She obviously survived. So that was back in 2009. 2021, February, she was diagnosed with lung cancer. So the fact that she has dealt with cancer twice in her lifetime is really, really hard. It's been pretty tough. Being an adult now and just being like so far, me being in North Carolina, her being in Texas, it's been a pretty tough journey. Just kind of not being there for her physically. I'm literally 1,000 miles away, so it's been tough. But I actually made her a GoFundMe account because she was kind of struggling with her medical bills and her finances and just everyday bills. So with the platform I built on Instagram, it actually helped me with the audience and the amazing people that like actually contributed and like donated to that. It really like shocked me, because like I felt like I have created such an amazing like audience that people, genuinely like, care for me, and I've impacted them in like some way, and like they contributed, whether it was like a comment, a prayer, a donation, or they reposted it, and there was just like so much like thoughtfulness and love that went into that. And we actually got to like help my mom and get her finances back in check, which like made me really happy that I was able to like help her from afar. But she is still undergoing cancer. She still has cancer, but it's diminishing. It's going away at a very slow rate. But the good thing is that it's going away like at a slow rate, which is good, because you don't want it to grow. You want it to diminish.
Right.
So, but yeah, I mean, it's been hard. I mean, it's been really tough. but I try to stay optimistic and positive as possible. And I just continue to pray for her and call her and text her when I can. And I enjoy every moment I have with her.
That's awesome. It sounds like they're coming in to debo you out the room, huh?
Yeah.
Tell them I said hi. No, yeah. So like I said, I'll put all your social media and everything in the description. Are you still doing? Is that GoFundMe still live for your mom, or has that already ended?
It's actually still open and it's still like live. Anybody can read it. Anybody can share it and donate to it. I can share that link with you whenever you get a chance.
You can send it to me whenever. And then, like I said, when I get this edited, I'll throw it into the description as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Absolutely. Is there anything else you want to leave to the viewers or to someone that might potentially run across this interview?
If you are considering wanting to do anything with your life, whether it be like just joining the Marine Corps, becoming a Marine, or doing something that you genuinely love doing, anything, doing a podcast, doing YouTube, photography, videography, any hobby that you love and desire and you yearn to do every day, I say go for it, because you don't want to live a life doing some other job like for someone else and doing just like a basic 9 to 5. I don't know. I would take the risk and do something that you genuinely love doing rather than doing something you don't love for the next like 40 years. That's just me. But take the chance, take the risk, do what you love, and just be optimistic and grateful every single day that you're in your life. But yeah, if y'all have any questions, feel free to contact me on at DANIICAKEZZ. You can send me a DM or an email. I have my email posted there as well. But yeah, hit me up, guys. I love helping people. So yeah.
Hey, Danielle, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you here on the platform. I appreciate you taking time out of your day to indulge the people, the viewers, and just speak about your life and some great things. And I can't wait to see the reception once this gets posted. So
yeah, I just want to say thank you, Chris, and thank you, Veteran Influencers, for having me on today. I look forward to doing this again with you if you're about it.
Absolutely. Call me out now.
Yeah. But yeah, this was definitely fun. Definitely out of my comfort zone, but I'm so happy I did it.
Absolutely. And you're going to absolutely kill it on YouTube. I'm telling you, once you just hit record and then step in front of it, and even if you just start babbling, something's going to come out. You can always edit the rest of that stuff,
Exactly. All right, Chris. Thank you.
Much appreciation. My pleasure. Seriously.